And this morning, that letter has become an issue in the negotiations to curb Iran's nuclear program. Secretary of State John Kerry today met with his Iranian counterpart in Switzerland. Margaret Brennan is in Lausanne, where a senior U.S. official likens the talks to a roller coaster. Margaret, good morning.
Indeed. Well, the aim here in Switzerland is to find a way to stop Iran's nuclear program without resorting to U.S. military strikes. If these talks fail, it could tip off an atomic arms race in the already volatile Middle East. So far, no one's promising a breakthrough. This week, U.S. diplomats wanted to focus on the substance of a possible nuclear deal. But they were sidetracked twice in 2 days when Iran confronted them about a letter from 47 Republican senators who threatened to spike any deal after President Obama leaves office.
This has made Secretary of State John Kerry's job harder, not easier, and it does give the Iranians an excuse if they decide to back out of this negotiation.
The episode illustrates the challenge for both countries, crafting a deal that goes far enough to silence their respective critics back home. Iran has already conceded to limits on its nuclear technology, while the U.S. agreed to negotiate with the world's top sponsor of terrorism. Karim Sajipour of the Carnegie Endowment is an expert on Iran.
You have two countries here who deeply distrust one another, and there are no guarantees that even if a deal is signed that both sides are going to adhere to it. But when you look at the alternatives, none of them are very good.
The U.S. is demanding that inspectors get unfettered access to Iran's 5 nuclear plants and the Parshin military base, where weapons testing has been suspected. So far, the answer is no. On the issue of sanctions, Iran wants them lifted immediately, as they've choked their economy. The U.S. prefers to do it gradually. Sajipour said Iran may have to give in.
Iran certainly needs a major economic boost, and the only way to get that is by signing this nuclear deal.
In fact, there has been movement in the past 24 hours. Charlie, a senior U.S. official involved in these negotiations, told me that they've made progress on sharpening some of the very technical details on limiting Iran's nuclear development.
Margaret Brennan in Switzerland, thanks.